Hello everyone. I wanted to give it a try to record this video in absolute darkness. I'm traveling. I'm in Jammu and Kashmir right now instead of my hometown, which is New Delhi in India. I'm in Jammu, and this topic came to my mind about positive insecurity because I'm here for a man who really taught me how to live. He's no more, but he had a will to live. He suffered his entire life from the time he was born to about 44 years of his age. He was living with a condition of, I don't know exactly the word, but muscular degeneration, complete body disformation. And he lived till his last breath. He sent people just a day before his death to have fun, enjoy the picnic. And I'm here to celebrate his life. He lived. We'll talk about a subject which is called positive insecurity. I know it is strange subject to talk about, but let's try it out. Most of us spend our lives trying to feel secure. We want to be certain in our relationships, certainty in our careers, and certainty about our health, and certainty about future. We make plans, we make routines, and we build identities, we gather our possessions, and we seek approval, reassurances. And quietly beneath all of this, there is hope. If we can just arrange life correctly, I'll finally feel safe. But life has never signed an agreement with us. No matter how careful we try and we plan, and at the last moment the things change. Bodies age, people leave, economies shift, and dreams of success sometimes get us disappointed. The world itself seems to move from one uncertainty to another. And many of us experience this reality as a form of war. Not necessarily a war with weapons, but it's a war within that is happening all the time. It's against change, against loss, against discomfort, and against uncertainty. And this is where the idea of positive insecurity becomes so valuable. At first glance, the phrase is so contradictory in itself. How can insecurity possibly be positive? We've been taught that insecurity is weakness and confidence means certainty, that peace means stability. But perhaps true peace is something very different. Perhaps peace is not the absence of uncertainty. Perhaps peace is our willingness to remain open in the middle of everything that is happening around us. With complete insecurities, everything changing, the positive insecurity begins when we stop treating uncertainty as an enemy. It is there, it will be there. Instead of saying, I must know what happens next, we begin to saying, I don't know what happens next. And that is okay. This is not a resignation. It is not passivity. And it is certainly not giving up. It is a courageous acceptance of reality. Because we can't change everything. Because reality has always been uncertain. The future has always been unknown. We simply spend too much of our lives pretending otherwise, to take control, when reality is we don't have. When we accept uncertainty, something remarkable happens within us. The energy we were using to resist life becomes available to experience life. Imagine standing in the ocean. A rigid person fights every wave. They become exhausted. A flexible person moves with the waves. They float. It's fluid. The waves are still there, but the struggle is not. Let it be. Positive insecurity is learning how to stay afloat, how to move with wind of change. But because we have stopped demanding that it be calm, many of our deepest fears arise from wanting guarantees, reassurances. We want guarantees that we will be loved, guarantees that we will be successful, and guarantees that we will not suffer, and guarantees that our efforts will be rewarded. Yet, no such guarantees exist for no one. And strangely enough, recognizing this can be liberating, because there is no certainty in everything, even in this moment. Because once we stop searching for guarantees, we can begin to live. We can love more fully because we know nothing lasts forever. We can appreciate people because we know they are temporary. We can take meaningful risks because we know certainty is an illusion. We can be present because we stop postponing life until conditions become perfect. This is practicing peace in the time of war. Not because the war has ended, but because we refuse to let fear become our permanent residence. The outer world remains chaotic, like my surroundings right now. There is disturbance, there is no light, but I'm trying to record it. The outer world remains chaotic. Yes, it does. The news headlines may continue to disturb us. Relationships may remain complicated, disruptive. The future may remain unclear. Yet there is another possibility. Instead of asking, how do I make life certain, we begin asking, how do I meet uncertainty with wisdom? That question changes everything, because peace is not found at the end of uncertainty. Peace is discovered within uncertainty. Every breath teaches us a lesson. And to be precise, we don't know even that. You do not know whether the next breath will come, yet you breathe. Every relationship teaches a lesson. You must know how long someone will remain in your life. We do not know, and that must know is a problem, and that is the uncertainty. Every sunrise teaches us a lesson. Nothing is guaranteed. Yet life continues unfolding. Positive insecurity invites us to participate in that unfolding, that mystery of living, to remain curious instead of fearful, to remain open instead of rigid, to remain present instead of constantly preparing for imaginary futures. The paradox is beautiful, wonderful, I would say. When we stop demanding security from life, we begin feeling more secure within ourselves. Not because the world has changed. People have not stopped honking here in India. I may crib, but I can't change it. I have to live with it. But because our relationship with uncertainty has changed, we discover deeper kind of stability. Not the stability of fixed circumstances, but the stability of an open heart. A heart can experience joy without clinging, grief without collapsing, change without panic, mystery without fear. And perhaps this is one of life's greatest invitations, to stop fighting the reality, to stop insisting that tomorrow be known, to stop treating uncertainty as a problem to be solved, and instead to meet it as a companion, someone that is holding our hand and showing us something that needs to be learned, a teacher, a doorway, a path to new beginning. Because truth is simple. Life has always been uncertain, and yet here we are, breathing, learning, growing, loving, and living. Maybe peace was never meant to come from certainty. Maybe peace comes from discovering that we are capable of meeting uncertainty with grace. That is positive insecurity. And that may be one of the most courageous forms of peace available to us. I hope this meant something to each one of you who listened to it or watched it. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, great evening, and great life. Blessings be with you all. Thank you.